evening, everybody, and welcome to SM Top 100 TV episode. Is it 7? Maybe episode 7. Tonight on the show, joined as ever by Mr. Dan Payne, speaking to us live from Turin. And tonight we're going to talk about Europa League final, FA Cup final, and the England Euro squad and how England are going to obviously win it. But then in a couple of weeks we'll realise that we won't. Dan, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. It's been a good evening, I guess, of a big final tonight, of course, Europa League. So that's been, well, it was
what about the big game, Accrington Stanley? Because I don't actually know how that finished.
Well, what was the score in the first leg? Was it 1-0 to Accrington Stanley in that one? I think they got a last-minute goal because I myself expected Wimbledon to probably win both of those legs, and they lost the first one very late on. And then tonight, I believe they have lost 1-0, so that must be going into extra time.
So it could be Wimbledon versus MK Dons next season. Did you watch that Mickey Mouse Cup final, the Europa League final tonight?
Yeah. I probably should have watched the bloody League 2 playoff instead, to be honest. I mean, I thought the game was pretty pants. Did you watch much of it yourself?
I'll be honest, I played football tonight, so we won. But I've seen most of the second half. I got back in the car, and within 20 seconds, Moreno had done something wrong, and it was 1-1.
Yeah, well, you didn't miss too much in the first half. I mean, the first 20 minutes were pretty abysmal. I thought it was a pretty terrible game, and I was almost switching off. But then Liverpool came to life a little bit, and to be honest, they probably could have gone in at half-time, like 1 or 2 up. Like they looked like they would run away with it. Sevilla run the ropes, but they've managed to hold on, and we're seeing that quite a lot lately, to be honest. Like teams not being able to kill it when they're sort of got the momentum, they're on top, and second half, obviously, they've instantly gone and conceded, and they never got back in the game. It's just an awful performance, I thought.
I listened to Radio 5 after, and they were talking obviously straight away to some Liverpool fans, and the Liverpool fan that springs to mind that called in was really negative about Liverpool, saying the season's a failure, blah blah blah. But I completely disagree with that, because as much as I hate Liverpool, I don't think he's done too bad a job. And you know what? With his own players in and only 38 games to play next season, I'm pretty worried, especially if Man United still have Louis van Gaal.
So I was listening to...
Will finish above us. They might not win the league, but I fear they'll finish above us next season. Do you agree?
I was watching a bit of the... I've seen clips anyway. I haven't watched the full programme yet. I haven't had time, but I am planning to watch the full sort of Premier League review thing they've done with the pundits. And I'm fairly sure from one of the clips I saw, it might have been Jamie Redknapp, who, you can't believe too much he says, but he did sort of hint towards the fact that Liverpool might actually be title challengers next year. And like you've said, with only 38 games now, even, I'd say I do think they could challenge. I mean, they've got no European football, so that does mean there's a sort of smaller lure of players available to them. However, it's a limited amount of games. Like if they get a good squad in, and Klopp will, he just needs to strengthen in a few areas, I believe. And I do think there'll be a problem up there for the sort of bigger teams.
The year of Liverpool almost won the league, and that famous Denver day, and when Liverpool, famously couldn't beat Crystal Palace. They only had 38 games that season because they weren't in Europe, and they were very good, and they benefited because of it. Consequently, I think they'll have a good season next season. But it is what it is. I've tried to get hold of Frank. Have you heard from Frank at all tonight?
No, nothing yet. I mean, there was a few posts online and such, but I haven't seen anything yet, so who knows?
He's probably still crying.
Probably.
What about the FA Cup final, the real cup? Actually, not the Mickey Mouse Europa League. FA Cup, the one everyone wants to win, like Arsenal and big teams like that. What do you think about the final on Saturday?
Yeah, the real cup this year, contested by 2 teams, and nobody gives a toss about, shall we say?
Do you think United? Because to be honest, I think everybody just expects United to win. Do you think Crystal Palace realistically have a chance, or do you think United will just have too much for them, as they did in the league game a few weeks ago?
I think we'd be very wrong to write off Palace on the basis that in previous years when Arsenal have won it, they faced smaller teams as well, such as Hull, I remember. And they've still put a challenge, and it's gone to extra time, for example. And the fact that United are probably worse at killing off games than Arsenal were in those seasons, I'd definitely say Palace are in it, even though they've been in such awful form of late. You can't write them off. But I would expect, especially the way that Anthony Martial's playing, I would expect him to be a massive difference in there, and maybe that goal for Rooney could like spur him on a little bit. And to be honest, hopefully he will, because that bodes well for England. Because like we'll probably go on to discuss, like nobody really wants him to even play. They don't think he's up to it, and we could do with him getting a goal and being.
When you say nobody wants him to play, are you in the Rooney in camp or the Rooney out camp? Because me personally, I love Rooney, and I will always open my heart to Rooney. Second only to my children. But in all fairness, in the midfield role, now I know everybody says about his legs, etc., etc. What midfielders are in this 23 that are better than Rooney?
Well, I'd say most of them personally, but I'm firmly in the camp that if I'm realistic, he goes because he's captain, that's guaranteed. He also should go because he is the leader, he is the captain. Therefore, whether he plays or not, he's going to be in and amongst the squad. He's got the experience of tournaments and all of these little factors, which means he has to go, and he will go, guaranteed. But whether or not he plays or not is a different matter. But somebody to have from the bench or on the pitch, he still, for England, always has done, like Beckham did in the past. He will run his socks off to get involved and have an impact on the game. And whether or not that's actually through goals, he might not score the goals, but he will still have an impact, and that sort of player is invaluable. And I think we'll probably see the likes of maybe Italy taking, a few experienced players who you could argue shouldn't go, but it's that sort of proper experience you need at these sort of tournaments, and I think Rooney's the sort of person that can bring it.
Yeah, I agree with you an awful lot. And a lot of pundits saying, "Oh, Rooney shouldn't start," blah 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 blah. But we have to remember this is a 2014 tournament, so it's 3 group games, and obviously England are going to get to at least the final. So it's going to be 7 games, and in 7 games there is no way he'll be able to play the same 11 for 7 games for injuries or suspensions or people being tired. Consequently, I personally think Rooney will start. When it comes to the big games, will he be there? Don't know. Jack Wilshere will probably have broken his leg by then because he's not been injured for about 90 minutes, so he must be due an injury. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, won't we? But some young players, Dele Alli is a great player, but he's a bit of a hothead, And England have got a history of young players being hotheads in big games.
Yep.
So Rooney's experience there again, is going to be, useful perhaps. But I'm sure there must be some bet already somewhere on Dele Alli to get sent off and England to lose on penalties against X, Y, or Z in the quarter-final.
Yeah, of course. Because, like you said, and the 2 players I've mentioned before, Beckham's done it, Rooney's done it, so it's there for him to do again.
He's got some fancy, yeah. Why not join?
It is that exact same sort of, little inexperience, and he hasn't got that major tournament experience either, so chances are it will probably happen. It's probably a great bet, to be honest. But yeah, a few things. It
is a good bet, and I'm sure that there's some bookmakers somewhere who've got that on. Hang on a minute, is that... I just had a message from Frank. He says he's waiting on to go on TalkSport to speak to Stan Collymore. Have you got TalkSport on?
Yeah, let's put it on.
Let's put it on then. Let's go, listen.
How much do you love this club? I can hear it in your voice.
Oh, Stan, I'd die for Liverpool because they're just absolutely God on earth. They really are. I love them to pieces. Liverpool fans are just outstanding. The history they've got. You look at them all. Liverpool and Manchester United have got the greatest history of this country, and they haven't had to buy it. Chelsea and City have had to buy it. We haven't had to do that. We haven't had to do that. Arsenal are holding up there at the top. Why can't we do that?
Exactly. I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing. I need to have a drink.
He's looking.
I've calmed down now. I never knew Frank sounded like
like a cockney.
I've got him before, but maybe he's sorry, carry on.
And every excuse under the sun when you're losing it, typical football fans, isn't it? It's never down to the performance on your club. Suddenly there's loads of other external reasons, but we'll leave these Liverpool fans to drown in their stories. It's about time, actually. I remember the 2005 Istanbul final. I remember being a Milan fan that night, thinking it was done and dusted at 3-0, and yeah, we won't say how I felt at the end of it, but it's about time Liverpool fans felt the same.
No, I'm going to go off topic here, but I've been for the last week writing a piece for the blog about Burton Albion, and I've been torn between my greatest ever football memory live, as in like I experienced it, and to be fair, I think my greatest ever football memory live, where I really didn't have an interest, although I did, was back in 2007, because I was in Piazza del Duomo in the middle of Milan, because I was working in Milan at the time, on that night in May 2007, when Milan beat Liverpool 2-0. And I tell you what, and I'm going to swear now like you did, I've never been so fucking happy. Because that was just absolutely amazing. I got my Man United shirt on in the middle of an Italian square, and Milan beat Liverpool. And they just went mental. They went mental. And the peeping car horns, everything. We don't do that enough in English football, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's sort of good atmosphere for it.
Experience, atmosphere, that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But Burton Albion, from a personal level, was probably, and is better.
Big statement. Anyway, let's quickly go back to the England squad. Of the 26 players that Roy Hodgson has named, which 3 do you think will not go?
I don't know. Fabian Delph.
Yep.
And then I'll stop at that.
I'll agree with Delph.
Possibly, I'm not convinced about Andros Townsend. But to me, on form at the moment, Andros Townsend perhaps deserves to go more than Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, I agree.
We all know Roy's got his favourites.
But then again, Townsend and Sterling have both played for England and done quite well in, the qualifiers.
Yes. I don't think Delph will go. I'd like Sterling not to go, but I think it'll probably be Townsend.
Yep.
I'm not really bothered. And I'm not sure who the third one will be. I think he'll take Rashford. I think he'll gamble. And I think that Rooney will go as a midfielder. Consequently, he may well leave midfield. I think it's telling tonight that Jordan Henderson didn't even get on the pitch. I don't think in the end.
Yeah, that was a very interesting one. I thought. I mean, Henderson plays regularly for England.
How can he be fit for England? For me, you can't take Henderson and Wilshere if you have got doubts over their fitness. Now I know they've got 3-4 weeks to prove it. Great, and they probably will. But tournament football is like weekend Premier League, midweek Champions League, because it's that.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't think you can take both of them. But that's my opinion.
And then I just don't personally think you can take Wilshere. I think there is absolutely no way that he can go after having no season. He has done nothing this season. There is no possible way he can get in that squad based on whatever talent he might have. He does not deserve to go. That's potentially like taking someone like Drinkwater out of it for the sake of a bit of talent he might have. Take away his exploits off the pitch. There's just no way.
If the choice is down to Wilshere or Delph, who'd you take?
Well, that's the thing. Delph hasn't had a whole lot of football either, but he has played, and both have played for England. I think Delph might even have more caps than Wilshere for England. So, as far as I'm concerned, again, that's more minutes this season, potentially more caps. I could be wrong there. I'm not quite sure. But if it's either talent versus current experience, as in minutes this season, and I think that adds up to you take Delph, and I don't think Delph will get anywhere near the squad, because that's the thing as well, right? We're talking about these two players, but are they going to play? Of course, there's probably an argument that if Wilshere goes, then you're probably going to expect him to play because he's played no football, so it's kind of like you jump over that, like he's not there as a squad player. If you're taking him, he's going to play. Anyway, let's wrap up this episode. Till next time.